By the time this video is out, Crystar will finally be out for everyone to play in the West, and I'm really excited. Ever since it was announced about a year ago and I fell in love with its gorgeous and emotive atmosphere, I've been wanting to play this game and have been lucky enough to have done so already, so I'm so excited that everyone else can try it and enjoy this emotive experience. This experience for me really delivered with its captivating story, but there were also some subtle things that added to my experience that could be missable if you just blast through the main story. So to help you keep your eyes out, here are some of my favorite subtle parts in Crystar that helped make the emotive experience even better. When I first started researching Crystar, its Memoirs of the Dead caught my eye as something that could add law to the world. These memoirs are obtained by killing special pink enemies that cry out lost words called torments, and you can collect 10 until you have to go to Ray's bedroom and cry them out into sentiments. They don't just become sentiments though, as you also obtain information about the enemy you killed, and since the game's set in purgatory, it tells us a brief story of this lost soul's life and death back in the real world. When you beat them once, you get a small outline to who they are, but collecting their torments unlocks a new part of their 3-part story, and with 99 enemies in the game, that's a lot of torments to collect. Some of the people you can come across include an explosive maniac, a salaryman who died of overworking, a couple who died in the same accident, along with many more. And other than enjoying learning the backstories, encountering these enemies again feels meaningful after you know why they're shouting what they're shouting. Collecting a torment and seeing the words "I'm hungry" pop up on the screen doesn't really mean so much by itself, but when you know that that was a salaryman that died from that very overworking, it kinda takes on a new meaning. While the torments are always putting messages on the screen, the actual Memoirs of the Dead are pretty missable as they're stuck in a menu, but I think adds something to the atmosphere, so I'd recommend them if you like reading dark and surprising stories and want to give meaning to the lost words popping up on the screen. Torments aren't just for dark stories, as Ray can cry them into equipable sentiments that act as equipment, but they also feature interesting thoughts that give reason to why they're not just called weapons. The text and descriptions attached to these can sum up characters' feelings well, especially as you develop them through Harmonia, which has you combine sentiments to make them stronger and also adds more to the thought sentence that eventually develops into a kind of mantra that we could imagine the character living by. For example, Nanana's sentiments often talk about positive things and trying to have fun, whereas Kokoro's reveal more of her revenge philosophy, and there's an added layer that some of the weapons and armor can only be equipped by certain characters, so it's interesting to see which ideals may be shared between two characters by the whole group or is a more personal thought. This really adds to Crystar's theme of tears becoming strength, as they get both physically stronger and emotionally stronger by the looks of things, and made me really excited when I first saw it, so I definitely recommend keeping an eye on it for that little bit of subtle character development. Most games these days include a story summary for when you jump back in to remind you where you're up to, and Crystar is no different. However, what sets it apart a little bit is that Crystar's story summarizes things from Ray's point of view, giving you a deeper understanding of how Ray is feeling. This is interesting to read, especially since it's written as if it's Ray's diary, so we get a deeper look into how Ray's feeling, and even if you remember where the plot's at, that aspect can make it worth visiting anyway. I particularly liked this feature in later chapters, as it's a good way to look back and make sense of current events, and you'll probably understand more what I mean about that when you get there. And even early on, I like how this completely optional feature retells the story in a unique way that lets us understand Ray more, along with the changes in the world. Saving the best for last, another completely optional feature is petting Ray's beautiful dog Thelema, who you can and should pet like you should with most video game dogs. Aside from cuteness, petting Thelema lets us understand Ray's feelings in a small way with the words that pop up on the screen and how she treats Thelema at the time, and depending how much you like animals and pets, these can definitely have an effect, especially at certain times in the game. It doesn't have any gameplay effect whatsoever to pet Thelema, but is likely there because it's a beautiful dog, and also because it's another thing that shows us how Ray feels. And this, and all the other features I mentioned, could be easy to miss, but I appreciate how they help build Crystar's world as you dive into more of its features. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've picked up Crystar, if you're playing it, and if you are, what do you think of it? You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to where you can pick up Crystar will be in the comments below, and until next time, thank you, bye!